In this worksheet, we're going to do problems 1, 2, 11, and 13. We're going to start off with problem number 1. It says simplify each expression. This is not an equation. That's why there is no equal sign. So the steps that we're going to do here, I need you to write them down, is first to distribute. So we're going to distribute first. Is there anything to distribute in problem number 1? No. There's an invisible 1 here, and there's an invisible plus 1 here. If you distribute, you get the same thing back. 5p squared minus 3. And if you distribute this 1, it gives you the same thing back because 1 times 2p squared is a positive 2p squared. And 1 times negative 3p cubed is a negative 3p cubed. Okay? Step number 2 is to combine like terms. So the things that look alike need to be added or subtracted, combined. Okay? And we need to put it in order of power. So I see 1 to the third power. I see 2 to the second power. And I see 1 without a p at all. So the first one that I need to do is the 1 to the third power. Is there another one that looks like this one? There's nothing that looks like this one because the power is 3. This one's 2. This one's 2. So this one just goes by itself and you bring it down. It's negative 3p to the third power. Then we're going to do the squares, because remember it goes in order. So 3 and then 2. So this one goes with this one, and it says that we're adding. So what's 5 plus 2? Positive 7p squared, because they both have a square. And then the last one is this minus 3, and there's nothing else that looks like that one, so I'm just going to put minus 3 here at the bottom, and this is your answer. Okay? If you're not sure, once you're doing your problems, I need you to go to the back and check your answers and see if it's the same. Okay? Problem number 2. Problem number 2. Step number 1, distribute. So is there anything for me to distribute in problem number 2? Yes, there is. There is a negative 1 right here. Negative 1 that you need to distribute here and here. So this one is just a positive 1. It gives you the same thing back. So when you multiply these two, because it's a 1 times anything gives you the same thing back. So this is going to be a cubed minus 2a squared. But this one is a negative 1. So negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. Don't forget your a squared. Negative 1 times negative 4 is a positive 4. Don't forget a to the third. So this negative, what it does is it changes the signs here and here. It changes the positive 3 to a negative 3, and it changes the negative 4 to a positive 4. That's what it does. Step 2, combine like terms. So things that look alike, and it has to be in order, okay, of degree. So I have to the third power, I have to the second power, third power. So I'm going to do the third power first. These two are the same. And this is an imaginary 1 plus 4 gives you how much? 5a cubed. Okay? And then this one's a square, and this one's a square. A squared and a squared go together. So these two, I can combine them. That's a negative 2 in the calculator. Negative 2 minus 3. Negative 2 minus 3 gives you a negative 5, and they both have a squared. So this is your final answer. Okay, I don't want you to try to subtract these two. They're not the same. One's cubed and one's squared. So we're going to leave that like that. Problem number 11. Okay, step number 1, distribute. Is there anything for me to distribute here? Yes, I have a negative 1 that needs to be distributed to 3 things, and then this positive 1 just stays the same. All of these in the front stay the same, so that's 12a to the 5th power minus 6a minus 10a to the 3rd power. Okay, start multiplying. What is negative 1 times 10? Negative 10a. So it changed the sign, right? This was a positive 10. It changed it to a negative 10. Negative 1 times negative 2. Positive 2a to the 5th power. Again, it changed the sign from a negative to a positive. And then negative 1 times negative 14 is a positive 14a to the 4th power, and it changed the sign from a negative to a positive. Step 2 is combine like terms. So the things that look alike and they have to have the same exponent, and we're putting them in order from smallest to least. So I have a 5, a 4, a 3, a 1, and another 5. So I'm going to start with the 5 first. This one goes with this one, and we are adding them. The sign says to add. So 12 plus 2 is 14a to the 5th power. Okay, then we're doing the 4s. So to the power of 4, there's only one of them, so bring it down. Positive 14a to the 4th power. Then I have to the 3rd power, so this one, there's no other one, right? So you just bring it, it's minus 10a to the 3rd power. And then the last one, a to the 1 power and a to the 1 power, these two are the same. So I'm going to do negative 6 in the calculator, everybody. Negative 6 minus 10. Negative 6 minus 10 is a negative 16a to the power of 1. This is your final answer. Okay? And problem number 13 is the last one. Remember, this is also going to be on the test on Wednesday. All of this is going to be on the test Wednesday. So step number 1, distribute. So I'm going to distribute. Is there anything to distribute? No, this is a positive 1. This is a positive 1. Nothing really distributes because you get the same thing back. You're going to get negative x to the 4th power plus 13x to the 5th power plus 6x to the 3rd power. It stays the same, all of it. And then this one, same thing. When you distribute, you get the same thing back because that's a positive 1. So it's positive 6x to the 3rd power, positive 5x to the 5th power, positive 7x to the 4th power. So really what you did was you just got rid of the parentheses, and now you can do step 2, which is combine like terms. So let's look at the degrees. I have x to the 4th power, x to the 5th power, x to the 3rd power, x to the 3rd power, x to the 5th power, x to the 4th power. So I'm going to start off with the 5s because that's the biggest. I have this one, and I have this one. So you're going to add them. 13 plus 5. 13 plus 5 is 18, positive 18, x to the 5th power. Then we're going to do the ones to the 4th power. So this is a negative 1 and a positive 7. You can put that in the calculator. Negative 1 plus 7 is a positive 6, and they have x to the 4th power. And then we have the ones to the 3rd power, so these two go together. Positive 6 plus 6 is a positive 12, and they have x to the 3rd power. So this is your final answer, and you can work the rest of them out